All right, everybody. Welcome back to Digi 6 Covered. Appreciate you showing up. And we're going to have some fun tonight. Hopefully. So first, before we start, we always see who's first. And it is the man, the myth, Dusty Rhodes. What the hell? Coming in a quick second was Lynn Holt. Third, we got Car Kane. James Smith in fourth. Drew Bradley in fifth. Talking Rock in sixth. Thomas Rowland in seventh. Doug B, Brian Duchesne, the Shaggy Rifleman, Jerry Parker, 45 Auto. He saws out there. Who else we got out there? DW. And we got Sergeant Devil Dogs out there. Who else did I miss? Charles Tiffy's out there. And Ronald Wilson. Keith Gregory, what's up, everybody? Hope you are having a great, well, I guess it depends where you're at. Yeah, it's dark, I think. Almost dark here. So hope you're having a good night. And unless you're in Hawaii, I guess it's still probably daytime. And if you're in Hawaii, you're a lucky man. We got El Gato Grande, my brother from another's out there. Ronald Wilson. Hey, Chris, your hat's over there, buddy. Sitting in the office when you make it back into Cali. I guess you are in Cali. When you make it back into the county. Jason Hunt, Orion Fixer. So, lots of fun stuff. I get to go home tomorrow. So, that's cool for me. Wish me a safe flight. Leaving here at 5 in the morning. I got to do a pass down with the guy that's going to relieve me. And hopefully he calls in. And it'll probably be during this chat, which will suck. But I got to do a pass down with him, and then I'm headed off into the wild blue yonder of basically headed back to North Carolina. So a lot of fun. You guys can see thoughts on the 22 long rifle PRS NRL. What else did I put on there? Something. But looking at some 22 rimfire as a training tool. Another one. I know you guys probably are familiar. I got the RPR. And I'm actually want to build a chassis with a whole, do the whole action kind of deal, but it's very pricey. So not really sure if I want to get into this, but I know if I do end up getting that house and that property, it's going to be a perfect training place to shoot. So I'm super excited about that. The horse is definitely, the cart is before the horse on this one. I haven't even put an offer in on the house. But, yeah, the question is budget, right? So Charles brings up a great point. I wish he'd actually jump on here. Love to send him a text, have him come up on here. Got a lot of knowledge. The things I was looking at, and I'm going to try to screen share, have some fun, see if anybody I'm going to show you stuff that's very expensive. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to buy this, but this is the stuff that is out there. So you can go anywhere from like RPR. You can get in the CZs and you keep going and blah, 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 blah. And then you end up in this stuff. And I'm just going to show some actions if I can make it work. But it's pretty interesting if you are not familiar with how much money you can go down the rabbit hole for shooting a 22 long rifle cartridge, right? Reasons for it, I think, positive-wise, is it's you can run very expensive ammo like you would with anything else, like your 10X Ely stuff, but you can also run cheaper ammo and still get some good training with positions. So the thing is, if you design the rifle around what you're normally going to shoot in PRS, NRL, whatever the case is, but it's kind of like a balanced rifle, same chassis per se, something like that. Watching X-Rings video. Instead of having to make a bunch of whatever round you're reloading or buying at the store, you'll be able to shoot some cheap stuff. What's up, Mano018? So that's kind of, for the money, the Bagara B14 HMR is the best bang for the buck. Yeah, $1,050. So there's a good price. So you're going for like a $400 RPR. Now you're looking at a Bagara. And let's ask Charles if he actually has like a full setup with some of his expensive stuff. You guys are going to probably pass out when you see even what a mag cost. I was like, holy crap. Tim Davis made it in here. That's good. He was saying that we weren't showing up. So glad he made it in. But let me see if I can do this. Let's have a little bit of fun. Do some screen share. And before we do that, we got X-Ring. So I'll invite him in. He looks like he's driving the Batmobile.
You got X-Ring and Sam.
And the Sandman's in here? All right.
Oh, look at that right there.
Oh, shit. Somebody's getting fat.
No,
I
we
like
got
it.
look
Is that a shake?
That's a caramel fudge shake. What you got, Sam? Sam got the, hold on. Sam
Did you say that's a caramel fudge shake? Is that what he said, Sam?
Got the Oreo.
Oreo. That's awesome. Well, let me show some of the stuff off real quick, and then we can kind of talk about
all right, go ahead.
This whole rabbit hole that you're never gonna go down, but let me see if I can get this to work real quick. Let's see, screen share, entire screen. So I won't be able to read your guys' comments. I'll have to go back to them. Let's see if I can get this damn thing to work.
You getting fancy with the screen share?
Doesn't seem to want to work. It's not even letting me hit the button. Oh, I got to click on that first. All right, here we go. So let's go over here. Nope, that's not what I wanted. So one of the things I was looking at is the EC tuner. So basically, on the end of the barrel, you can run one of these. It does have to be cut out for it. And what's nice about something like this is even if you have kind of not the best ammo, you can kind of tune that batch of ammo in. So even cruddy ammo, you can make decent. So that's something that I was looking at. Now, Deuce, the Ultimatum, here is a pre-sale. So you guys, they're not even available yet. But we are looking at just a deposit of $7.99. So basically $800 for a deposit. It is a barreled action. And then you have to pay the additional $1,800 or $800, which brings the grand total to $1599.99, which is pretty damn crazy, right? So there's that one. We got the this one is a huge favorite with a lot of the 22 long rifle shooters, and actually they're none available. That's how good people like them. So the Voodoo, this is pretty cool. But let's find the price tag of $1,320. Now, guys, this is only for this piece right here. Just that piece right there. So pretty crazy. And then we'll jump over to MPA's kind of got a chassis. It's on a CZ. This is a $1,750 to $1,900. This is a complete rifle, but here's kind of a picture of it. Let me see if I can dance around a little bit. Now, the one thing is it does take the CZ mags, which is kind of a little bit funky compared to if you're going to train with maybe pretending you're shooting your PRS gun per se. So that's just, something to think about if you're running that style. But nice rifle. Would love to have one. Don't have one. But that's basically the price tag for that. So that's no optic.
Yeah. But that's still
you gotta smack on another grand or so.
Hey, that's still.
And then you got this one here. Hold on, let me go through them all, and then we'll talk. We got the Rimx Rimfire, which $1,150. This is made by Bighorn, basically, kind of broke off or something like that, and it is it's also available, but we're looking at $1,150 for just that piece. The mags, they're expensive. They're around $80 to $100. Depending on which ones you go with. And then last but not least, this is the same thing, but I did have a price of a mag on here somewhere. So that's just for the action. And then you can choose a pre-fit barrel. You're looking at $641 for that, plus that. So let me get out of here and let's get back to talking with X-Ring and the Sandman. And let's see. How the hell did I get out of here? Stop sharing. All right. So crazy. Now, back in the day, we were talking about this when we were building some rifles. And the other day, which was probably about 3 weeks ago, there was a guy and his partner. They were doing some training. We talked about that a little bit on the show before. And they had the setup of the setups, man. They had the nicest stuff I've ever seen. But on the one end, Ray may have changed his mind, but he's like, I don't think I will ever spend that much money on a 22 long rifle. So, Shazam and go.
Cookout. What's up, John Kreiderman?
We got the Shaggy rifle. Altus is where it's at for the Rim-X pre-fit. Okay. Is he cutting in and out on everybody else? Kreiderman's out there.
I got you clear as a bell.
Okay.
Probably
Let's see. Rick, you invent a bump stock for a bolt action rifle, and you will hit the jackpot, buddy. DW AR Guns 1776 out there. How you doing? Thanks for showing up. Joaquin Jack Nava's out there. Mario Mechanic. And see if anybody new showed up. Brian Duchesne. I think we're good. If I missed you, say something in the comments and I'll make sure to catch up. I couldn't see the screen before. So Mr. X-Ring, did Matt call you, say he wants to go watch you guys shoot?
Yeah, he's going to go watch. I offered for him to shoot, and he wouldn't do it for some reason. He said he just wants to watch. So whatever. If I'm going to go and watch something, I want to play too. But anyway.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Nobody knows yet.
Okay, so the gentleman that we met out there that's supposed to be like the national champion rimfire PRS competitor is actually setting up a match tomorrow. And I've already found out there's already 20-something competitors signed up. I didn't even sign up. Kreiderman and I are going to show up, and I've already called and told them we were coming. There's going to be 20 courses of fire, so it's going to be like a full-on, like the Hornady match, where they got 20 different stages, and it's positional, so it's basically PRS, but with a rimfire. Now, when we went and when we saw those guys out there, they had voodoos out the wazoo, okay? If you can say that. Voodoo out the wazoo.
Voodoo out the wazoo.
I mean, literally every one of them was over $5,000 to $6,000 because they were running Night Force ATAC R 7 to 35s with voodoo. The voodoo barreled action is $2,000 by itself. Forget the chassis. You still got to add that into it. I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't mind shooting it, and that's kind of why I dressed up the CZ455 with the MDT chassis, and I actually got the Burris XTR3. Big shout out to those guys for providing that. I'll be using that for the next little bit, putting it through its paces. I'm actually pretty impressed with that little scope, but I don't want to justify spending that kind of money, because then you have to justify spending that kind of money on Elite 10X. And at $17 for a box of 50, yeah, 22 is cheap enough, but it's not cheap enough when you're paying $17 a box, because you go through it so quickly. I was out there zeroing today and went through 200 rounds.
Jeez, you suck.
Well, no, I mean, what I did was, okay, so let me share some information with you guys. So when you go into Street Lock or anything like that, you've got your G. This is all about learning, and Ricky's going to learn something here too. It's all about learning. You got G1 drag models, you got G7 drag models. There are a slew of other drag models that other people aren't aware of. You've got RM4, which is what you need to use for 22. It'll line up your ballistics a little better. But even in Street Lock, you can go into that and change that drag model for RM4. And that's what you want to use in this game. Okay. So doing that and adding all this ammunition to it, it's going to get exorbitantly expensive. I mean, I might as well just stick with shooting a centerfire rifle. I think I've gone far enough as far as the Zermats and looking at, all these other high end, which this is news to me that Ricky was looking at doing this stuff. But yeah, I think Gunfather, I agree with you 100%. The 455, the 457s, I don't think I can justify spending more money on that. I mean, you're already spending another $1,500 on a good scope. It's hard to justify. You'll never get that money back, ever. I don't think.
Well, and here's my thoughts on it. Gunfather brings up a great point, but if you're going to train and you have the ability to basically train with the exact same rifle, hence a different cartridge, right? And I mean, you could do it a lot. Say you have a nice little PRS style thing set up at your house. being able to do holdovers, practicing that, being able to, you got a lot of dope data in there, especially with 22 long rifle. I think it's going to be, I don't want to pay for it, obviously, but I think at the end of the day, to get better training in, if you're running the exact same chassis, almost the exact same weight, and hopefully even the same reticle, I think your training is going to be a hair better. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think you're going down a rabbit hole to spend a lot more money. And I get what you're saying. You're doing it the right way. You're doing it unlike me. I make whatever I got work. You're trying to get a centerfire that has exactly the same characteristics and everything as your rimfire. And you're trying to tailor these two guns to be identical. You got a trainer and you got another one. That would be like somebody in AR saying, you know what? For 3-gun, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the exact same freaking setup, same handguard. I'm just going to run a 22 conversion kit. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do it. I've thought about this a lot. I've never had to do it. Would it have made me a better shooter? Probably not. It didn't take that. And, for those that follow the channel, I won a 3-gun championship. I didn't have to do all that where I had the same gun, the same trainer, same anything. And you're shooting a hell of a lot more rounds doing 3-gun training than you're ever going to do on bolt gun. Rick will tell you, we go out and train and do positional shooting. 60 rounds is usually enough, especially if you get 3 or 4 guys and you're doing the 90-second rotations. You're not going to burn through that much ammo, but 3-gun, you can look at the gun wrong and you spent 250 rounds down the range. It's just a different animal. I never had to justify a rimfire for that. So I don't know. I don't buy into that. I think Gunfather said it best. I'm just going to keep training with these other guns, and if anything, I learn other platforms and adapt to them. But
here's a couple more reasons. So when I do retire, I could go with like a 223 AI or something cool like that, or I think Brian Marks had said like a 308 and stuff like that. It's not so much about the recoil; it's the carrying of the weapon, being able to place it down. You can get basically a lot of, like, if I went with the CZ Action, which would be fine, I could run the same chassis, that kind of stuff. The thing I don't like about it is basically the mags are a little different. Not a big deal. It's putting a mag in. But I was thinking for the same thing, I could utilize that and go actually shoot a 22 NLR or, PRS type of stuff. So at the end of the day, there is no divisions in that, supposedly what I heard. I haven't shot one yet. But they don't have a production. They don't have like an open class kind of deal. So it's like you basically, these guys are shooting this and you're shooting this. So it's like just something I've been thinking about it. Not official, but if you're going to go out and do it right, per se. And if you have the property and you have a mini PRS set up, which I'm hoping to if I end up getting that property, I'm going to be out there all the damn day shooting 22, and I'm going to be shooting crappier ammo. That's the reason why I want to be able to tune it with the muzzle, get a batch of cruddy ammo, not so great stuff.
No, I think you're mistaken on that, Rick. Okay, I think you're completely wrong on this. You can tune ammunition that your rifle doesn't really like harmonically, but you got to remember, if you're tuning rimfire crappy ammo, you're not going to be able to get that to shoot crazy tight just because you got too many velocity variances. That's the problem, is you don't control that in that rimfire. That's why you pay so much for this, Lapua, the Ely, and all of that, is because of the measures that they take. Now, yeah, the SNK is really good. I know a lot of guys are having success with that. I've tried to source some of that. You're still looking at $8-9 a box, depending on which one your rifle likes better. But there's an unnamed person that that we both know, that bought like every single type of ammo known to man. And the one that shot the best in his rifle, he can't get it now. It's too expensive. And he was like, man, I wish I could source some more of that. And you're not going to just magically make CCI standard velocity with your barrel tuner work great. It's really something that you can kind of tune your loads that are a little off on the harmonics to get them to dial in a little better. But
Yeah.
crappy ammo is crappy
Well,
ammo.
and that's all I'm asking for, basically. So say I train with CCI standard velocity, right?
Yep.
And we do a great job with the rifles that we have, the RPRs, the CZs, and they
Yep.
shoot pretty damn good.
Yep.
Now, if you can tighten that group up, maybe even a little bit more,
Yep.
that's going to be perfectly fine, beneficial for shooting out to 400 yards with a 22 long rifle. Am I going to hit every time? No, but it doesn't really matter. It's the hours being put into shooting and positions and figuring out ways to bring the bag up with the rifle. Or
Yeah, but you're not getting recoil. That's the difference. I mean, that recoil management, somebody else said it really well a little bit ago in the comments. You're trying to get that recoil on the follow-up shots, which you're not really going to get with 22. I'm not saying this isn't going to be difficult tomorrow. I'll probably get my butt handed to me. But I'm just saying, if you're looking at it as a way to get better at PRS, I think you would probably want to go with something like 223 or something that at least has some recoil, whereas the 22 doesn't even move.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I just want to shoot every day, and I want to shoot a shit ton every day. And I figured
Charles Tiffy, you know he's a lone gunner, and he's saying that I'm right.
Yeah.
Most of the tuners are used at 50 yards. You got to have good extreme spread and standard deviation. So that's where that ammunition comes into play. And hey, sometimes you get that one lucky rifle that likes Federal Auto Match or whatever, but those are few and far between. I just, man, it's going to be hard for me to. Now I'm shooting Ely 10X tomorrow, but remember, I got a bunch of it when I bought the Anshoots.
Yeah.
Almost out of that, and once it's out, I don't see myself ever buying anymore. Well, because I didn't buy it in the first place, and I'd love to shoot it, but man, I can't see spending more money that way. I'm trying to become a little more frugal here.
Well, no, and that's the thing. You already put the CZ in a chassis, and what you have should work out perfectly fine for you. What I'm trying to do is when I'm picking up the barrel from position to position, laying it down, I want that weight. And the recoil on a 6mm isn't much anyway. So I am able to spot my shot. So even if I'm getting a little less recoil, I don't know. It's basically being, hours of pulling the trigger, I guess. I'm not completely talking myself into it, but
you have. I've known you long enough.
I'm pretty close.
You know what you want. You're like me. I mean, you're like me. Once you make up your mind, it doesn't matter what anybody tells you, good, bad, indifferent. You're going to follow through with it. And
I might even go with the 90-degree throw.
I'm guilty of the same dang thing.
Yeah.
So it's pot calling kettle black here, but
no, it's all good. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it was just like the 6 arc. So everybody naysaying on that. It doesn't matter. I'm having fun with it. It's one of the tightest shooting guns I've ever owned. I will tell you, there's been a little bit more in the development of that. So I've been talking to Kenny a lot because we have not seen a gas gun in 6 arc shoot sub MOA. Just haven't seen it. So we've been working on running them out longer. Basically, Kenny actually pulled factory bullets and just ran them out longer. I'll go ahead and tell you the number. I don't think he'll mind me sharing because it's about where the same thing that I've came up with. But
will
if you
it fit
run
in the mag?
If they will not fit in the mag, but if you run 6 arc out to about 2.31 overall length, that gun will shoot sub-minute of angle all freaking day long. So this is something that needs to be addressed. I asked Kenny how this could have happened, and what he's supposing, and what I would think happened is the manufacturers just built it to Sammy specs. Built it to Sammy specs, and there's just too much freeboard, way too much. And so the only way to fix that is to run them out longer, but now you can't fit them in the magazines. So that's something that's going to have to be addressed in the beginning with the barrel manufacturers to see if they can change that. But
do you think it's because of the barrel? It's got to be the barrel. The runout's too far, right?
Yeah. The it's just way too much. And that's one of those things that's going to have to be cut. You got the receiver, you got the barrel extension and all that. So this is not something you're going to be able to modify an existing barrel. It's something that's got to go from the get-go.
Yeah.
Just like with the 6 arc bolt gun. I mean, that thing is performing well. I have zero regrets for building that rifle. I just hate it that in the AR platform it's not working out so well.
Well, and that's the thing. They had the restrictions of the mags and all that junk. So it is. Well, if they could recut those barrels shorter, maybe that's the magic key. Peace, 45-bit lag.
Yeah, Lynn Holt, he already has a Dillon 650.
Who does?
Someone said, sounds like if you're retiring, you see a reloader in your life soon, like a Dillon press. So you've already got one.
Oh. Who's he talking about? I got some reloading stuff I'd like to get one day soon.
On here. 45 Auto says I froze up, but man, I've got like full connection. So
yeah, you're rocking and rolling, man. You are definitely not at your house. Let's just say that. Somebody's walking around your car. I've done some awesome videos on 22 long rifle, shaving cream, 400. Yeah, good point. Yeah, Gunfather Precision. He's got a good channel. You guys go check out his channel. A lot of good shooting stuff. A lot of good stuff.
We're going to get back on the road here. You're not going to be able to see me too well, but you don't see me anyway.
How a one to break. Oh, shit. That's my pass down.
That's your what?
I have to do a pass down with my partner coming in to relieve me. Let's see. I'm surprised that the ammo manufacturers have never tried to load more streamlined bullets like the Hornady and the 22 Magnum. Godfather. Let's see. A lot of good stuff out here. Rick, are you not using the Ruger 22 LR anymore? Yeah, I'm using that still. The just thinking ahead, planning ahead. I want to shoot some 22 long rifle precision matches. So in my future, there's one tomorrow that Ray and Kreideman are going to actually, and I'll actually be in the airplane all day tomorrow. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Rick, I did release a video today going out to the cornfield training.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, getting some zeros. I just released it. It's actually a pretty good video. I had a lot of fun out there. I went by myself, and yeah, I'll have a good time tomorrow. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be different, but the positional training is why I'm going. But it'll be fun. Who knows?
Yeah. Other thing I thought about too is rebarreling the RPR. Not that it shoots bad, but like with some heavy barrel, and then running it in the chassis and just running that. Because I do like the action on the RPR. It works good.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. The changing the CZ455 out of the wood stock into that MDT chassis made all the difference in the world. That doesn't even feel like the same rifle because I've got the adjustable length of pull, I've got the cheek riser, and it actually shoots better. I don't know if it's just because of the torque values for torquing in the chassis, but it's shooting better than it ever has.
Nice. Yeah, see, could be the chassis. Or maybe just like it better. The biggest thing is I'd really like to get a thicker barrel, kind of get that balance point back to towards the front. Let's see. Why are we hard to remove? Or why are they hard to move? Kenny, I see you a link if you want to jump on here. Let's see, how's Sam doing? Sam, how you doing, buddy?
Well, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
You having to put up a little.
You're not going to be able to see anything as we're driving down the road and it's pitch black. Matter of fact, I'm going to lose service here in a minute. When I get back to the house, I'll see if I can jump on for a little bit.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're at.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so it's going to make really fun match conditions.
I'm probably going to end this soon anyways and then jump back on here in a little bit. I got to do a pass down. Work before fun. You know what I'm saying? Does MDT chassis on the CZ weigh less? Does it weigh less, Ray?
That's a good question. I don't know. I did not weigh it, but that stock that came with the 455, it was just a wood stock varmint barrel, but it just does not fit right. That feels like a youth stock. I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, you had to crane your neck so high, even on the lowest ring set I could get for it. So I think just the fit was the biggest thing for me, and being able to find that same spot weld every time.
Huh. Godfather says, I think they're coming out. Cutting Edge is coming out with some higher, the copper, solid copper 22 long rifle ammo.
Yeah, I've read about those. I'm sure those will be priced right up there with Ely 10X.
Yeah, you figure copper. What's up, Ramsey Country? How you doing? Never mind, FedEx. Change delivery to Tuesday rather than Monday, so Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, Shaggy, you still waiting on that part, man. Don't see the link. Huh.
Right. I think a really good analogy with long rifle or long range shooting, even with 22s or what we're doing now, is it's kind of like if you wanna compare it to golf and what technology did. Once you get all the manufacturers on board realizing that there's a need for it and they start pumping all this R&D, I mean, it changed the game. You look back at what guys like Nicholas and Palmer and all Jones, all those guys did back in the day. Those guys weren't driving the ball that far. They were using persimmon-headed wood drivers and hitting the ball 200 if they were lucky. And then now, if you're not driving the ball 320, you're nobody on tour, and I think we're starting to see all these advancements in technology with bullets, with barrels, everything. And I think it's really cool. Like I said, it's an awesome time to be in it. It's a lot easier to get in it.
NLR 22 Max.
And I'm gone.
All right, you can't load ammo for them. You have to shoot factory. Yeah, I have heard that, which is fine. I ain't loading 22 long rifle stuff anyways. That would just suck. Deal alert: Vortec copper remover is $19.95 at Midway temporarily. Good stuff, guys. Well done, Esau. Way to keep everybody informed, my friend. Let's see. I went to my local gun shop, and they had a lot of primers. I got 3 boxes, small rifle and 3 large rifle. Normal prices. 3 box, 140 ELDs. Nicely done. Good score. Those are hard to find right now, for sure. Thankfully, it's not shipping. Let's see. So that's an option, you guys. So basically putting that, maybe rebarreling that RPR and putting it in some type of cool chassis and making that barrel super heavy might be the key. What are your thoughts? Rich 1911's out there. What's going on, Rich? Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. Ray will be popping back on here in a little bit. He's driving through North Carolina mountains, so I know exactly where he's at. He's in a section where there is no service. Those cutting edge bullets would be cool for the ELR shooters shooting a voodoo. Yeah, that freaking voodoo is badass. I was watching a video on YouTube about it, and the bolt or the lugs are mid. So if this is the bolt, and usually the lugs are on the end per se, it's in the middle, so it's kind of cool. They designed it that way for some certain reasons. I was watching the video, and the owner or the guy that patented it, he had a lot of cool, innovative things that he was talking about it. So, but you are paying some big bucks. The RPR action is proprietary for the Ruger chassis. I don't think there's any other chassis options for RPR. So yeah, see, and I haven't looked into that yet, Charles. That's one of the things. So I might have to pull off a Curtis action, not a Curtis action, a CZ might be the way to go then. I don't know. I just want to be able to put a bunch of weight on it. I want the big barrel. So a lot of the people, they're not even selling barrels that are really the ones that are already done, like the MDT one and some of the other ones. The barrels aren't, basically a truck axle. So I would really like to find a truck axle barrel, basically, and get that weight right about the same as my 6 Creedmoor, just to kind of throw it around and be the same way as the other rifle. I'd sell my plasma to pay for an MDT chassis, but they won't let me. 45 auto. Let's see. Gonna go get another glass of Evan's finest. All right, Shaggy. Don't trip over the couch. How much elevation adjustment should you have as a minimum in a tour? Hold on, I got a call. Let me put you on mute for a second. Let's see what we got here. Chest pain. I'll be right back. Good question, Brian. I don't know if Curtis makes a conversion or not. I haven't seen anything. Nobody's told me anything about it. That would be cool, though. Can you buy a barreled CZ action? Let me go mute that damn thing. I'll be right back. All right. Much better. I believe you can buy a CZ action 45 auto, but I'm not 100% sure which one you got to get. I know the 457 that's out. That one's pretty nice. We have a friend that has one in a proof, kind of all decked out, kind of I think it's in a Manor stock. Really nice rifle. It's a proof carbon fiber barrel, but that's not what I'm looking for. I wouldn't mind the action, but I don't want a light gun. Let's see. What up, Robert Warren? Davey J, it takes me 45 mils to get out to 550 yards. Yeah, when we were shooting 700 yards, we were using everything in the reticle, and we were still having to aim at trees above at 700 yards. I don't know what it is. You basically, depending on what base you put on there, I would say you need 30 or so. But I don't know. Ray's shooting one match tomorrow where it goes out to 400. I know they got the 22, what is it? The LR or the X, where they shoot out to really far distances with the 22, but I don't know how far out you have to go. Some people in the comment section would probably know more than I would for sure. I'm new to the game. Just having fun. Let's see. Looking forward to it. 45, I think so, but not sure. LOL, that's not click. Smoke and the Bandit. Need to put a sign on the back of my chair that says, "Be right back." That'd be kind of cool, DW. I like that. After these messages, this was a nice view of your chair. I could watch it all night. That's a good looking chair. It used to squeak. I had to fix that. Rick Google Curtis 22 long LR conversion. The problem with that is I still have to get a convert. I still got to get another action, and then I still got to change the barrel out. So at the end of the day, it would be cool for the 60-degree thing if they make one for that. But if I'm going to get an action, I might as well get it. Let's see. What about the Ruger Mark IV? What about, what's up, Liam? 550 in our X match tomorrow, 15 stages. Nice. That's shooting some distance right there, Charles. Borrow X-Rings German 22 long rifle. Chris Smith, what the hell? What's up? German. Conservative sniper hunter. Emily is sitting on my lap. She keeps trying to cuddle. All right. So what's your guys' most accurate rifle that you own? What is it? Is it a stock something or other? Is it a custom built $2 billion rifle? Okay. Is there anybody on this chat that doesn't own a 22 long rifle? Anybody at all? Is there anyone that does not own a 22 long rifle? Yeah. Let us know down below.
What did I miss?
Oh, you missed all the good stuff.
Dang it. Always.
Dang it. Also, I love the Ultratech torture test video. It's pretty much what has made me decide to buy one. That's cool, man. I tell you what, they're great knives. If I could have one here in non-America, tomorrow I'll have mine in my pocket, but not tonight. Gotta cross enemy lines right now, my friends. Joaquin says that Burris. Where'd it go? Man, just poofed on. Yeah. Oh, the Burris XTR3 is a nice scope. When are you going to do a full review on that, Ray?
Like everything else that I try to review, I try not to just throw I definitely don't do box openings usually. I mean, geez, I hadn't even reviewed the Vortex, the 1 to 10, but I like to get time on products before I just throw it out there to see if there's any issues or any things that I've noticed. Right off the bat, I would say that the glass is probably from the same glass that the Primary Arms Platinum is. I mean, it's good glass. Don't get me wrong. It's premium glass, but it's not like Night Force. Okay, it's not like a Vortex Razor HD, but the price point also reflects it. Okay, so you've got a Primary Arms Platinum that's going to run you about, was it $15.99 or something? Isn't that what you saw them priced at?
I think so.
Yeah, and then you've got the Burris XTR3 that's running 1800-ish. So you're getting you're paying a little more for it, but it also offers some pretty cool things too. But it also has some things that's lacking. So number one, it's non-illuminated, at least the one that I was sent. The Primary Arms is illuminated. The Primary Arms has a very sticky, and this is on 3 different models that I've tried of the exact same scope. It has a very sticky parallax knob. I thought it would free up by now, and it's not going to. It is what it is. So you can't just grab it like a Night Force and quickly adjust your parallax. The Burris feels really well. The clicks are completely different between the two. And yeah, this is a side-by-side comparison because they're in the same price point, almost the exact same power and everything. The Primary Arms Platinum, the turrets feel a little chunky, mushy. The Burris, they are very tactile clicks, more so than Night Force or even like Loophole. I mean, the one that I've got is very crisp. The knurling on it is second to none. I mean, when you reach up, I don't care if you had mud on your hands, you'd be able to go click, 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 click. The knurling is awesome. I do like the lock ring that they put in there for the adjusting the ocular. I mean, once you lock it in like a Night Force, it's good to go. And unlike a Night Force, though, you can turn the ring without turning the whole ocular. The fit and finish, all that's good. Now, some things that are really good with it that I like is there are times I want a capped windage knob, and there are times I don't want a capped windage knobs. It comes with both. It comes with one that is capped, but you can unscrew the cap, remove the cap that's underneath there, and go with an externally adjustable windage knob that matches the elevation knob. So that is a big plus. The throw lever, I like Night Forces where you can just screw it in. It stays out of the way, but it's really small. The one on the Burris is machined aluminum, and man, let me tell you, it is easy to throw that over. It's like the perfect amount of resistance to go from one power to another. It's not too light. It's not too tight. I noticed that both of them, when you get about 25 power, they start to get a little milky. Almost the exact same power rate. That's why I'm wondering if it's actually not the same class. I have no idea. That's it. I do like the burst, though. I like the reticle. Really easy to see the reticle. It's not too busy. It's Christmas tree style, but with the 22, it works really well.
Robert says, Rick, why is your channel on the blink? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. It's always been on the blink. No, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's a YouTube app if you can switch over to PC. Oh, I don't know. Shaggy Rifleman's given some good information. I don't know. Most accurate rifle is a Nerf gun. It can pop a grandchild at 20 yards. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, so a lot of you guys have put some of your most accurate rifles. We got some cool stuff in here. 7 Psalm, Remington 541, tack driver. Thomas doesn't own a 22 right now. There's a couple other people too as well.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple comments about the Anschutz that I have, and that is the most accurate 22 I own, no doubt about it. However, it is a single feed, and there's a company that will do the conversion to the box magazine fed, but it's like $600 to do that, and I honestly don't know if I want to do that with that rifle. But yeah, he's welcome to use it.
I suggest spend the most you can on a 22 scope if you're shooting NRL. Tracking a lot of elevation is a must. Yeah, we had to use the whole thing and basically some Kentucky windage in order to make that thing work.
So, Chris, that's a great question. I'm not sure. I could do that. I'm still talking to him. Okay, so that is the sister company of Burris is Steiner. My only concern with Burris is if I get limited to using Burris products, they don't make a range finding optic. So what if I wanted to use my Leica rangefinders or my range finding binoculars? So I need to discuss with them, is it possible to use the Steiners because it's a sister company and they make a laser rangefinder, but Burris doesn't make a laser range-finding binocular, and that's kind of a sad.
It's called a deal breaker.
Case. What's that?
It's called a deal breaker. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that would actually be a deal breaker if I'm limited to use Burris products, and look, I've been using the Burris stuff for a long time. I mean, way back in the day when I was shooting 3-gun, I was using the XTR series. One of the best scopes I ever had. I did have to send one back one time. Had it back within about a week and a half. Was actually I had a cloudy spot just kind of develop on the internal, so I figured a seal went bad or something like that. They replaced it with a brand new one. I don't know. We'll see. We keep playing out with this and see what's on the table. As far as the ring, the Burris XTR rings, signature rings. Maybe you guys have a lot of experience with this. I don't consider myself a dummy, but some of the directions in there didn't make sense to me from a standpoint of, wait a minute, most people aren't going to understand this. Okay, so what you've got is you've got 2 rings, like normal rings, and they have inserts. And those inserts allow you to change how many minutes of angle you have within the scope. Okay. And the way they do this is you have, it ships with a 0 shim on the front and a -5 up top and a +5 on the bottom on the rear. So the way and I don't know if this is going to be reversed in the camera here. Give me just a second. Hopefully not. But in the owner's manual, if you're wanting 25 minutes, we're going to say this is the back of the scope. This is the front of the scope. Okay, we'll just make this big because it's the objective. What they show is if you want to add 25 minutes of angle, then what you're going to do is on the front of the scope here, you'll put your +5 on the bottom, your -5 on the top, your -20 on the bottom, your +20 on the top. But the picture they shows it canted upwards.
That's wrong.
Okay, that's not right, because what you're trying to do is get it to cant downwards so that you're looking through the scope, so you have more internal travel. Now, maybe there's something. I mean, look, they've got engineers that do this and everything else, but it doesn't make sense.
Probably has to be the opposite of that. You basically need to do this.
And I want to tell you something else too. One of my biggest pet peeves is when a manufacturer does not provide torque settings for everything that they provide you. They give you a torque range 45 to 70.
What
That's
the
a
hell?
huge range. That's almost like a barrel nut for an AR, okay? They give you a 45 to 70 torque range on the cross bolts that go into the Picatinny for the bottom of the ring set, but they don't give you cap rings. And I've always told everyone, 18 to 20 is probably going to be good, but that's just a huge pet peeve of mine. Air Attack does the exact same freaking thing. It's aggravating. If you're going to provide it, give them torque settings.
Yeah, or don't give anything if you're going to give freaking 1 pound to 100 pound. That makes no damn sense.
Yeah, and like I said, I haven't discussed this with Burris or anything, and I mean, I'm a nobody, but come on, I mean, if you're gonna now their packaging and everything is awesome. They do a good job with that. I think they got somebody that really knows what they're doing on that end, but their descriptions are a little lacking. I think leaves a lot to interpretation. This is another thing too, guys. They actually mention in that owner's manual that if your impacts are hitting to the left, how you can cant those so that you're not just changing the elevation, but you're actually changing the left and right windage on it just by rotating them. And on a semisphere, that's going to be kind of tough to get those exact between one and the other. I'm just wondering what kind of tension that creates on the two. Yeah.
Brian says it's a conversion for all Curtis actions. The problem is I don't want to have to take the barrel off on and off because I'm going to probably shoot the same rifle, 2 days from the day I just put the other barrel in. So it's going to have to be a full build. Unfortunately.
Yeah, Andy Armour, I hear what you're saying, 20 front, 5 back, but the owner's manual specifically shows it with the ocular, and they show that in there with 20. Now, 20 in the front, I think they're referring to front as in first focal. It's the 20 is closest to the ocular and 5 is closer to the objective. That's what the owner's manual shows. It's crazy. It's just one of those things I was like, really? Anyway.
But I would assume it's wrong.
I'm not saying anything's wrong. It could be right.
Not of the scopes like this.
Well, that's what the picture shows. You know what? Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes.
You better bring that shit over here. I think you read it backwards or upside down.
I am Asian.
You are Asian, so you should have no problems reading that. Hell, you could probably put it back in the package and be able to make it work. Let's see. I don't know, Shaggy. I assume so. I killed a deer with a 338 Lapua last year. Bam, bam. Let's see. Okay, conservative sniper hunter. I did get your other question. I don't know the answer to it. Let me go back up here while Ray is scope manual searching. So hopefully you guys can help Otter out with this. So guess no thoughts on the single base powder versus nitroglycerin added to the traditional single base rifle powder to get better energy. I have no idea. I don't do any mix and match and stuff. I just stick with the load and call it done. Ray, you know anything about this? Because I sure don't.
I'm not there yet. I'm switching my camera so you guys can see this. Maybe we can address it afterwards. Hold on, let me see here.
Hold on.
Okay, guys. So this is going to be the ocular because it has your ring on here. This is your objective. If you look right there, -20, +20. It goes reverse here, -5, +5. But if you look at the red here, you see it says the 25 minutes of angle. It's showing it like this, and I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't quite make sense the way that they have it. And then right here, you can posi align it and shift it. So if you look at the gray part right in here, that's your ring, and then this is the insert, right? I want you to check this out. See how they've rotated it here?
Yeah, what the hell does that do?
Well, this is now shifting it. Look at the scope. The
Oh,
scope
yeah.
but you have to think you've got another one. Now, this question came up, and this is really good because someone asked this the other day on your. Let me switch my camera back around. Someone asked this the other day. They said, does it matter the distance that your rings are on a 20-minute of angle? And it doesn't if it's fixed, but that it does change if you get into something like this. If you start getting into angles and you change that distance, it changes dramatically. And they do realize that, and they do provide this for people that, hold on. This little chart at the bottom, you're not going to be able to read it because it's so far away, but it actually shows you the differences based on your ring spacing on the base. So they go into detail on that, but they don't go into detail on the shims. That just aggravates the hound out of me.
I hate when
It's like giving you a map without a legend. You know, it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, what's this squiggly mark? Is that a rattlesnake?
That's a rattlesnake. That's not a creek.
That's not a rattlesnake. That's a chupacabra. Now, do you have to run those rings?
If I end up being an ambassador for them, I have no choice but to run their products. And look, there's plenty of guys winning with those products.
Means if they sell underwear, you got to wear those then. Does it really mean you got to use them as long as
you're running underwear on? You want to see? No,
no, I bet you they're purple or something. No, but I wonder if you have to use those rings.
I don't know. I'm still going to talk to them next week and kind of get some ideas on stuff and get some questions answered that I need answered first. I can't just look at the PRS style stuff. I also have to look at what's available for 3-gun and everything else. That technically means I wouldn't be able to shoot a vortex optic.
What that means is I might be able to get it. Hashtag. That's all I gotta say.
Guys, don't ever sell your scopes. If you like an optic, keep your optic. Sell the rifle. Don't sell the scope with it. Scopes don't go bad. Okay.
That's right. That's good advice, but I didn't want to say anything because I was thinking maybe I could buy a scope. Dun, dun, dun.
If a tin of smokeless powder is unopened, how long can it last if stored in a cool, dry place? I'm going to answer this. At least 30 years, as long as you've kept it away from humidity in a cool environment. Guys, I mean, that stuff, as long as you've taken care of it, it'll last probably 100 years. Who knows?
That question there is the one I was going to ask you. I have no idea on.
Yeah, see, Drew Bradley at a 45-degree cant. That would be crazy to calculate. Yes. Okay, so no guess, no thoughts on the single base powder versus nitroglycerin added to the traditional single base rifle powder to get better energy content. In other words, Vitavori 100 versus the 500s. No, Otter comes up with some humdingers. No, I can't answer that. No thoughts.
Did Grizzly Adams pass away? That I don't know. I would have swore I thought I saw something, but that was years ago. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to start any rumors because I like Grizzly Adams. Who doesn't know who Grizzly Adams is out here? Let's find out. All right. Well, we're at an hour. I got shit to do. And I would love to come back on, but I really do need to get my pass down done between because I'm working. I got a job to do. Dun, dun, dun. But let me know down below, guys, if you want me to return later. I don't know what time it is over there. Maybe Ray. I just need to be on the phone for like 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, I won't be able to come back on because I still have to get dope cards mounted on these rifles and get my shooting bags and all that. And I'm still trying to fix this or get done with this generator stuff, getting it clean. We got everything hooked, wired in today. Big shout out to Kreiderman if he's still on here. And yeah, it's been one of those days.
Well, with that said, you have a great day tomorrow. Don't shoot too high up. I'll be in the airplane somewhere above your head. And we'll see what happens. But
I'll try to get some match footage. Maybe Matt can assist with some match footage. And, you know, if he's going to be there watching anyway and he's not going to participate.
I appreciate that,
We'll
everybody.
see if there's. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll have fun.
All right. Yeah, so that'd be cool to see some match video. Then you can do an after report and tell us all the things you wish you could have done better on and things you didn't know how awesome you did or whatever.
Hey, Brian Marks, real quick, let me answer this. He's talking about composite SAPI plates. You know, everything says 5 years. 2A armor, 3A armor. I have shot level 2A armor that is 25 years old, and it still stops every bullet that it says it was supposed to stop. So I don't know if that's something where the manufacturer is just like, you know, look, we're gonna warranty this thing for 5 years, and then you need to spend more money. You know,
that's exactly what it is. We have the same issue with our turnout gear.
Yeah. And, you know, and I do understand perspiration, chemicals, and all that can break it down, but I think that's really more of a let's rotate it through and make more money in 5 years.
Hell yeah. You want the bread to get moldy at some point in time so that you can have people buy more bread.
That's it. All right, guys, you take care, and thanks for having me on, Rick.
Yeah, anytime. You guys have a great night. Stay safe. See you on the next one. Maybe later. I don't know. See if I'm up to it.